Carlos Rodriguez back with us, of course. All those years in the Attorney General's office, he kind of looks at scams and things of that sort.
Yes.
And one of them involves the Olympics, as you might imagine. Nothing is safe when it comes to scamming.
Yeah.
And I did see some mention of this, and I know you want to talk about it, the scams with Olympic tickets. Now, the tickets have been an issue. I don't know if you've noticed all the empty seats at all these events.
No.
They were giving them away, I think.
Well, they were complaints early on in the Olympic Games that there were so many empty seats when the games were being billed as totally sold out. And it turns out there were hundreds and hundreds, in some cases thousands of seats in some of the venues that belonged to sponsors that weren't being used.
Okay.
And people were saying, hey, how come we can't buy those tickets? So there has been a program of gathering these tickets back from sponsors who don't want to use them and selling them again. And that's all well and good, but I can imagine that some scams could possibly arise from something like this.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, this brings me back when I went to the Final Four several years ago, where their scammers were selling bogus tickets. And I think in this situation, every event, there's no immunity from any event when it comes to scammers. Scammers take up advantage of the Olympics, Final Four, any event. Even locally, I bet you we're having the women's soccer team coming.
Yeah, on September 1st.
September 1st.
Abby Wambach.
Oh, yeah.
Wambach's team, the Olympic soccer women's team, is coming to Rochester.
Okay.
So
is this where the scam's coming in?
Well, scams could come in our community where bogus tickets. I'm assuming that game will be sold out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So anyway, here, what's scary about this Olympic scam is that officials and agents who control the tickets from at least 54 countries were involved in the scam.
Wow.
So this is the problem with events, major events, and insiders being involved in the ticket sales, and they were selling the tickets for 10 times the face value.
Oh, boy.
Wow. Oh, imagine that.
So, I mean, that's scalping at its best.
Yeah. And, I mean, who wants to go see, men's synchronized diving and you're paying 10 times the ticket price?
Right.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I could pay a premium to see the, the men's basketball team on the Olympic, in the final game where it's the gold medal at stake.
That probably the most highly sought after ticket in the games.
Right. Those are probably sold out or they're being scalped already.
By the way, Pat, I have an Olympic tip for you. I don't know how much you've been watching the Olympics.
None.
Really?
No,
I love it.
No.
I love it. I've been glued to the TV.
It's been gripping. It's been really, really great competition, and NBC's been doing a fantastic job.
Yes.
The Olympics in HD, you just can't beat it.
Right.
First of all.
I've seen some clips here and there, but nothing. I haven't watched heavy. But go ahead,
Carlos. Have you seen the Netherlands field hockey team? Bad.
Really?
I saw a little bit of field hockey, but I never understand the game, so I never.
Well, you don't have to worry about the game. The team is worth the price of admission.
Oh, really? Okay, I'm going to start.
They are
in high def, huh?
All stunningly beautiful.
Really?
The Netherlands field hockey team.
I'm going to see if my kids DVR'd it. I'll get back to you.
I mean, I like watching the women's volleyball.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, but they're playing it. The weather hasn't been cooperative, if you know what I mean. It's been chilly, and they're all bundled up. And who needs to see a bundle?
That's right. Yeah.
Luckily, I can say Alex has left the room here for a second, so we can.
I'm so mad. I wish someday I could go to the Olympics, and it would have been an opportune time going to London. I've never been to Europe, but it would have been fantastic. And we still have another week to go.
Right. Another full week.
If anyone's planning on going, I think track and field. I can't wait for that. So be careful if you're heading out from Rochester to the Olympics. Be careful about these scams regarding tickets.
We're into August, and some people are beginning to think back to school. I saw an interesting article this week about how more people will spend at least the same and possibly more than they did last year in back-to-school shopping, whether it be for school supplies or for clothes for the kids. And I'm sure this is ripe.
No, right. What can you come up with? Come on, a scam for back to school. Okay. Come on, tell me.
You have kids that are on Facebook.
Yes.
Okay. And they're on Facebook all day, and they see a pop-up message or something. You could get an iPad for $29.
Seen it.
Oh.
Okay.
Seen it. Yep.
Or a laptop, or you won a $100,000 Best Buy gift card.
Okay.
Okay.
Back to school special or something.
Special is a freebie.
Oh boy, that's
watch out for that for 2 points. One, that if you click on the link, you might get malware, and then they'll get everything from your computer, all the passwords there. Or it's a link where then you have to apply, and of course in the application, it's going to ask you to give out personal information.
Yeah.
And kids love to give out personal information. It could be your credit card number.
That's right.
Hey, Dad, could I borrow your credit card? I'm going to, I need to buy something on the
You're getting scammed by your own kid. But how do you tell
give up their cards?
How do you tell a kid that the idea of a $29 iPad is too good to be true? I mean, how do you tell a 14-year-old who's all juiced up about, hey, Dad, this is great?
Because take them to one of the box stores and show them where they sell the iPads, and you'll see the price. It's
a lot more.
A lot more.
And say, how could this possibly be this low?
Yeah.
They don't give these things away.
Yeah.
They don't give these things away. There's got to be a catch.
That's probably the only way to explain it, right?
Yeah. Free should be free, $29. If it's legit, then it's a great deal. But
how could that be?
Scammers have taken advantage of that.
Kids sometimes have no
they don't. They're not
concept of money.
Not yet.
No. And watch out for, read the fine print on any of the advertisements. They could be legitimate ads. Buy one, get one free, but what's the price of the first one? So make sure all the stores now have all the stuff, all the back-to-school stuff, but be careful.
Okay.
Read the fine print, read the qualifiers.
Okay.
I was always a nut for school supplies. I just thought the whole idea of stocking up on that stuff was just the best.
I know. I do it now. I love buying pens and stuff. And
I'd go to school with like 5 protractors. And I to this day, I don't know what a protractor does. All right, starting to wind it down on Property Source Radio. Thanks, Alex. We're here till 10 o'clock. We'll get back to ESPN Radio at that point. Can you believe we're this close to football?
Yes.
First preseason game.
I haven't gone to the Buffalo Bills.
No?
And I live like 10 minutes away, and I haven't gone yet.
First preseason game here in Sports Radio 950 ESPN this Thursday night when the Bills host the Washington Redskins.
Oh, wow, great.
We're going to do predictions again this year?
I think we're going to have to. And I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, okay, preseason games, who's going to take what? Okay. Washington's at Buffalo this week.
Is it just Buffalo or the other teams?
Well, last year we kind of just focused on the Bills.
The Bills, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But you have still a little practice time, so we'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Because up front, I'm a New York Giant fan.
Okay.
Front runner.
like a Yankee fan.
Yeah, front
runner. All right.
We're talking scams. We'll get to that. The whole Yankee thing is.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Yeah. We're talking scams with Carlos Rodriguez, retired from the Attorney General's office. What else you got for us today?
Okay. Well, this scam could happen anywhere. The report was that this particular scam happened in California, but like I've always said, scams sort of travel.
What is it?
Okay. You want to sell your TV.
Okay.
Okay, your 42-inch TV, you probably upgraded to maybe a 55 or a 60-inch, or I think they now have a 70-inch.
Okay.
I'm dying to get one of those,
really?
But my wife already said no.
Wow.
Unless we get a new house.
Don't listen to her.
Yeah, no, I may not. I'm retired.
Right.
Well, anyway, individual, the seller advertises the TV on sale in the newspaper or on Craigslist or whatever, which is very popular. And so some person shows up at his door saying, oh, I work for the Salvation Army, showed him some fake ID and said, I'm a, work for the group that could use the TV. They had a program.
Okay, where you donate it, though.
No, this is not donated. This is selling.
Okay.
But this guy just shows up,
saying he's from Salvation Army.
Salvation Army is legitimate, that they want to buy the TV. So the seller agrees to sell it to him, $850.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the seller gets a check for $850, and then the buyer says, okay, I'm going to send some guys over to pick it up, the TV. It's 42-inch. So a couple hours later, some guys show up. The seller turns over the TV, blah, blah, blah. Well, then he takes the check to the bank. Guess what happened to the check?
It bounces.
Bounces. Scam, I call this a double whammy scam.
Double whammy scammy.
Yeah.
Scammy.
So he's out the TV and no money for the TV.
The money, he's out the money that the check bounced.
Yeah.
Plus,
all right, so
fees.
Here's what I get from all this, from hanging around with you for a few months now. Make sure you get identification from Mr. Faux Salvation Army guy. Let's see that. Let's see that you're from the Salvation Army.
And
cash the check before you turn over the TV.
Good.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid enough to fall for this in the first place.
I'll add one to yours, which is I wouldn't sell something where door to door. I don't like this door-to-door trans. There's too many problems. There's been problems where you're going to sell your car and then the person shows up at the meeting place and they get robbed.
So wow.
There's all these scams going on.
And chances are, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Salvation Army is not going to buy your TV. They expect you to donate it.
It's a donation thing. Yeah.
That's why this is. I call this a crazy scam.
Oh, okay.
I like the double whammy scammy.
I like that.
But just use some common sense. And we say this every single week. Just use some common sense. But week after week after week, you're better
off calling friends or acquaintances and say, I got an extra TV. You want to buy it for me? Mm-hmm. Somebody that or verify that person is legit.
Yeah. I think that's crazy. I had a girl come by my house once about a year and a half ago, knocking on the door. Cute girl, probably 18 years old, knocking on the door. Can I have money for the fracking or something? She had a picture.
I gave into that.
You did?
Yeah.
Are you pro or anti?
And you know what?
You don't even know, do you?
I do know what it is. I do know what it is. I don't really care. I just don't. I mean, I think I've seen pros and cons against it.
Yeah.
So I can't make a decision yet. I don't know because maybe my information's skewed. But
so give to both sides.
Give to both sides. Well, I couldn't
or give to neither.
But this one, I couldn't even tell if it was legit. That was the weird part.
Did she have the word frack with a line through it?
On the paper, but it was a black and white Xerox copy. Here, donate to the no fracking.
Right. No fracking.
Yeah, and so she says, could you donate? And I said, well, what are you doing? And she says, well, if you have a couple dollars in cash, that would be okay too. Yeah. But there was no verification.
Yeah, I got caught on that one.
Did you?
Yes.
There was no verification, no nothing. You must live down the street from me. They must have hit.
I must. Because I think the name sounded.
It was just the strangest.
They gave me the name of the group, and I felt it was legitimate.
Okay,
I'm sort of anti-fracking.
Yeah.
So that's why.
And then they were just asking for the loose change after that. I thought at that point because I'm like, no, I don't have any money. Well, how about loose change? Well, that's kind of weird. Get out of here.
Yeah, I don't like. Actually,
it just wasn't right.
You just brought to mind, and I know.
Go ahead.
There are magazine crews going on in town because I almost got caught in one of those scams. You ever hear of magazines crew?
Well, I used to be on one when I was, probably 14 or 15 years old. I'd go out and they'd drop us out in the neighborhood, and I'd go selling magazine subscriptions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rochester is good for magazine crews. They come out of town, they stay at a local hotel, and these college-age kids that come around. And I had one knock on my door about a week ago, and he says, and they showed his fake ID, and they said, this is for school for some nonsensical project to fund for that alleged student.
Okay.
And I said, I'm not interested. Remember, I said, I'm not interested in shut the door.
Yeah. And
I saw that they had a truck or a van that was open and all these kids came out and just walked around door to door. Wow. And the girl was really mad at me when I said, I'm not interested.
Well, good. Well, how did you know it was a scam, though, real quick? I mean,
I just put two and two together. The event or the project they're working on sounded really bogus.
He's the scam king.
I know.
And, and I saw the van.
Georgia plates.
Right.
And it reminded me of a case that I had at the Attorney General.
Oh, okay.
All right, we got to scoot. It's time for great to see you again, by the way.
Great to be here.
You too, Pat, Alex.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us as usual. Property Source Radio. We'll be back next Saturday with more Property Source. Time to get back to ESPN Radio, talk some football, talk some baseball. We'll talk with you next Saturday. Thanks for joining us at Sports Radio 950 ESPN.